Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. We've been working on this closing 20-inch drill press here. I got the new belts and put all that stuff on up there. No big magic going on up there, just rubber V-belts and stuff. I didn't run into any problems replacing the belts and just doing some general cleaning, which is pretty boring video, by the way. So we were looking at this. I got to get this chuck mounted in here, and in the last episode we did some work getting this arbor off of here, and I got to get rid of this. Well, change this to a number 3 Morse taper. So I got my order from Traverse Tool today, and I got the arbor. So we'll be fixing this ID up a little bit. It's got a little score mark in it, although nothing's sticking up that I can feel. We'll get that mounted on there and try it out in the drill press there. So, okay, so here's our chuck and our new arbor, and let's see if I can get you guys in nice and close there. Just gonna rotate that. You can see it's got a little score mark on that. There's a corresponding one on the inside here. I don't know how well you can, actually let's try this. Maybe you can see in there. And see that. Anyway, we're going to do a little cleaning on that and mount this new arbor. Well, I got this new arbor, and this came from Traverse Tool, and I did opt for the offshore brand there. It couldn't be ignored. The Jacobs brand one was $28 or $30, and this Phase 2, the Phase 2, this was $7. I don't know how they do this. Okay, so I can't even buy this steel for this. Okay, so if I buy the steel and machine it and then put it on a boat and ship it over here, and and everybody that touches that thing is marking it up. So by the time it gets to me, there's been about 5 or 6 people that have handled this and sucked out their profit out of it, and it still gets to me for $7. So this is a lesson in don't make stuff that's easy to make. Okay, so make stuff that's hard to make. Design and engineer things that nobody else can do. Leave the commodity crap to somebody else. Okay, everybody wants to do the easy commodity work, but you know what? You can't compete with people like that will work this cheap. Okay, so what that means is they had to make this thing for like $1 or something like that. That's steel, grind, machine, grind, heat treat, blah 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 blah, ship, get over here, and then sell it. So you can't win on easy stuff. You got to work on hard stuff. Okay, so that's Tom's 2 cents worth there. Okay, so I just did this kind of a quick check there, and it feels like it's pretty good. I'm going to clean this up on the lathe a little, and we'll clean this real good, and we'll do a little bluing on this and just see how well that taper matches, and then put them together. Okay, so I just got this chucked up on the solid part of the front of the chuck, and we're just going to go in there with a little emery paper. I'll just touch it with the 180, and then go in with a little 320, and then a little Scotch-Brite just to take off any crud in there. So this is an operation where you definitely wouldn't want to wear gloves, and you want to be real careful. So especially sticking your finger in a hole. Actually, the 320 looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't feel anything. What's that? Yeah, there might be a little high spot there. I'm gonna get a scraper and see if I can knock that off with a scraper. Oh yeah. So there was just the tiniest little bump there, and I scraped out. I mean, you can see that little bit that I scraped off of there. Not much. All right, so let's do the Scotch-Brite. All right, nice satin finish. Feels pretty good. All right, so we're gonna clean these parts up a little bit with just give them a wipe with a little bit of acetone. There was some kind of cosmoline-like stuff on the arbor. This is kind of a poor man's high spot bluing. This will just give me an indicator of you know, how well that's this arbor's bearing on the taper. I get most of it covered. So I'll let that dry for a sec, and I'm gonna grab there's a little tiny hole through. I don't know if you can see it down in there, but what I want to do is kind of run these together, but I just want to have a punch handy to knock it out of there if it kind of gets stuck. All right, so I got my long Starrett dry pin punches. So if you're gonna buy one set of dry pin punches, get the long ones, because I found them to be really handy for just a million things. So I've got several sets of those. All right, and that just passes through, and that's, I think, an 1/8 inch there. Okay, so all I want is just a little bit of rotation there. Well, so it's bearing pretty well there. But Well, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Yeah, a little bit of touching up here, not much. So even this thin layer of crud on here is not good for mating tapers. You want these perfectly clean and for it to mate properly. You know, you want this kind of solid contact there, metal to metal contact. Well, I'm not going to recut it, I can tell you that. I don't feel like messing around with that. Not for $7. I could buy 3 more of those and see which one fits the best and still be ahead of the game, right? Yeah. Well, guys, I think I'm just going to put it together. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to put it together. And then we'll press it in there a little bit. Okay, so one of the things I don't have in the shop yet that I'm looking for is a good arbor press. So you guys out there, keep your eyes peeled for me for a good arbor press. I'm looking for a Dumont, actually, would be my first choice. And if anybody sees anything locally or whatever, or knows about anything in California, let me know. Anyway, so I don't have a press yet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use the Kurt Weiss here. And I took off the back jaw so that I could get enough throw here. And we're just going to use this to press this in. And if anybody's doubting whether or not this thing can push that hard, you can develop a lot of force with one of these. All right. I think that's it. We'll go try it in the drill press and see how it looks. All right, so my carefully calibrated finger says that's pretty grody up there. So what we're going to do is just go up in there with a rag that's got some solvent on it. Oop. Maybe not. I think this thing's too sharp. Yeah, I think it's too sharp. Try a piece of key stock here. Oh yeah. Oop. Oh, now you did it. Freaking thing. So these rags, they don't hold up when you get solvent on them. They're not that durable. Let me get one of my my super duper rags. So these are a really tightly woven paper, and these things are bomb proof. I try to save them because they're they're so nice, you know. And these are made by a company back east called CNC, and they're some kind of industrial clean room wipe or something like that. Anyway, I bought a big box of them off of a guy at a garage sale, and they're just absolutely fantastic. And you can see the difference there. This has got solvent on it, you know, and it's still hanging in there, right? That one was just falling apart. That's one of those blue shop towels, and you know, it just died immediately. Still getting some crud out of there. All right, that's better. Get that out of the way. I think what I'm going to do is going to run this up. Something like that. Now let's use the table to kind of all right, well, that's wrapped in there pretty good. So I think that's it on the chuck. I'll probably make a little chuck key leash for this thing. I use those retractable key, those little key retractable things, which keeps it on the machine and handy. Okay. Okay, so we're back. I was just checking the wiring in here, making sure all the connections were tight. I put a new plug that matches my three-phase plugs here in the building, and so we're getting ready for a test of this closing drill press. Unfortunately, this cord's not long enough to reach across over there to the where the plug that I have wired up right now is. I will hardwire another plug in where this ultimately is going to live. But I've been anxious to do a test on this to see if it runs properly, and I don't expect any problems, but you know, I kind of checked it out. It looks pretty good, but we still want to try it, make sure I got the rotation right and all that. So what we're going to do now is we'll just pick it up with the crane here, and I'm going to put it on a little dolly and wheel it over so the cord will reach, and then we'll plug it in and give it a try and see what happens. So get this thing rigged up. Pretty sure this is what I used before. Pick it up. I think this thing weighs something like, I don't know, 600 pounds, something like that. Actually, I haven't looked up the weight yet. Let's see. What it is. I was just making sure the sling wasn't catching anything important over on that side. There are power feed units on the other side, and I didn't want it to snag anything on that. So I'm just, you can't really see it, but let me tip this down. I'm just setting this on a kind of a run-of-the-mill, high quality, this is not a offshore furniture dolly, it's a good one. These things have about 1,000 pound or 1,200 pound capacity depending on which ones you have, but they roll really nice. Centered up nice. Let's tighten that up. All right. Well, while I still got it slung up, I'm wiggling it around, it feels okay. It's good enough for a test. Yes, you know, it's hell being short. Slings off. Actually, I'm going to leave them on there, I think. Okay, let's wheel it over and give it a test. Alright. Alright, let's give this little puppy a go here. You see all that? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's do that. Okay, so we're plugged in, we got power. Power feed is not engaged. We're low speed. I think we're good. Okay, rotation's right. I just bumped it just in case there was something weird. Let's do that again. A little longer. Okay, stop switch seems to work fine. So that's 4 thousandths per rev according to that. It's 12 thousandths per rev. Let's try the variable speed. Manipulating here is it's the little kick out for the power feed. So when this cone comes down, it engages with that and kicks that out. That's 1,000 RPM there. RPM. So, actually, I might have been reading that wrong. So it's got 3 different speeds on here. So we'll get the tachometer out and we'll check the spindle speed. Also, I want to since I put a new arbor on this chuck, I want to put something in here and measure run out and see what we got on that. So let me get some stuff and we'll check that. Okay, so let's do a speed check first. So I got my little tachometer here. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Suppose I could clamp it right to that, huh? What we got? 3,000. So that's 30 to 120. Let's see. Oops. Okay, there we go. 100 to 400. That'll work. And what do I want? Do I want a little rubber dealy? That. What do I want? do that. Lower the table a little. All right. Of course. Let's do that. Relock it. Okay, so I think it has to do with different options of these drill presses. So it lists 3 speeds at every thing on the nameplate here. So the lowest speed option looks like 150 RPMs, and that looked fairly close to that. So let's see what we get here. And let's see here. So this is 100 to 400. So it's a little faster than that. So that's like a little over 200 RPM, like 210 RPM, something like that. And okay, so it's the middle of the 3, so 200 RPM. Let's run it up a little. Well, according to this, that should be about 260. 250. Yeah, not quite 260, but you know, it's a variable speed pulley, so infinitely adjustable, so it's probably never going to be exact. Okay, so at least I know now, low end's 200, and so that makes the top end 1300, so, alright, next, okay, so now I know what the speeds are. So let's put I brought a 5/8 dowel pin over. Let's put that in and tighten it up nice and even. Okay. And see if I can get this indicator where you guys can see it. Let's see what we get here. Back it up a little bit. Okay, so it's got a little bit of wiggle in the whole spindle assembly. You wouldn't see this on a milling machine, but it's not surprising on a drill press. They're not, you know, quite as precision as a mill. Okay, let's fire it up and see what we get. Well, that's actually pretty good. So, what am I seeing there? That's 2 or 3 thousandths there. You know, and that's not right up at the chuck. So, let's see, can you guys see that? Let's try the old, I apologize for the zooming, so. Let's see if that, get the thing to focus there. Come on, focus it. Okay, well, alright, let's do this. This is for ha-has. Let me zoom out again. Let's go up here. Yeah, it's pretty close to the same as the chuck. That's 2 thousandths there, something like that. 3 maybe. So roughly the same as the chuck, so. Now when I go up, okay, this is interesting. So when I go up here, it's a lot, well, a lot, you know. So now we're around one, I don't know, one, but it's got a little bump in it, like there's a burr on here or something. Oh yeah, there's something on there. So that's pretty good. So we have some error in the arbor and chuck mounting that produces 3/1000ths at 2 inches from the chuck. For a drill press, I'm calling that pretty good. I'm not chasing after that, you know, just for the sake of things. I would imagine that is in the pretty close to the original manufacturing spec on that. So okay, so we checked the speed. I know which speed range. So somehow I'll put a little marker on that so people know what people using this know what the know what's what. All right, so I figured we'll go ahead and do a drilling test here. Just give it a try. This is just a 1/2-inch drill, and I don't actually have a drill press vise, so I'm going to use the. When I got this thing, if you remember from the first episode, it had a little XY stage on it with a mill vise bolted to the top of it. So anyway, just to give you some idea what this thing used to look like. So when I got it, this is kind of the general condition of the machine. So I did a fair amount of cleaning and whatnot on that. So I got a little chunk of steel here. We're just going to drill a hole in that and try it and just kind of see how it feels under some load and give that a go. It looks like you can see, yeah, I guess you can see that. I'm not going to drill all the way through. I'm just going to drill into it a little bit just for ha-has. Oh, I see what's going on. That's got a big wow in it, so let's do that. And I guess I'll fix this vise up a little bit because actually it's a good size for the drill press, but some bozo welded the frickin' handle on there, so anyway, I'm going to cut that off and dress that up a little bit and take this apart and clean it, and that'll be my drill press price for a while. So anyway, let's see. So we got the speed range of the machine is 200 to 1300. So that covers a pretty good size or a pretty good range of drill bits in steel. So this is 1/2 inch. That's going to be, I don't know, 600-700 RPM, something like that. Kind of optimal. Down at 200, that gets me over an inch, you know, depending on the setup, you know. It's always setup dependent how well you can go. In general, there's no harm for going too slow with that kind of stuff. Certain materials don't behave well. Stainless tends to work hard, and if you go a little too slow or baby it, but steel's pretty cooperative. So anyway, let's give this a go. I'm going to run that up to 400. Let's do that. Let's start there. Trying not to whack the camera here. Well, that looks pretty good. I mean, it feels good on the handle. So the other thing I want to try is the power feed. So let's see. Let me raise the table a little bit. Something like that. Okay. And let's see. We're 12,000ths per rev. Yeah, you know what? That'll actually work. This can be oops, oil. Let's give it a little bit of oil. Gee, now I got to get this thing its own little oil cups and all that stuff. So all kinds of fun tooling it up. good. I don't have this bolted down, so I want to be careful. But it was born for China there. It was going to town there, so that was pretty good. I got it on some wood, so it won't take off on me. But it seemed to be fine. Okay, so I think this is a success here. This kind of light refurbishment, you know. Okay, so this is probably about as far as I'm going to go with this thing here. And some people might ask, you know, how come you don't take it all the way apart and sandblast it or bead-blast it and repaint everything and kind of do a showroom rebuild? Well, my answer to that is I really want to just use the equipment. I enjoy using the equipment, and my goal with a rebuild like this, or you know, a cleanup and rebuild, is I want them in clean, functional condition. I don't really need to have it in showroom condition. I want it functional, everything working, you know, nothing stupid like this welded handle, you know, or anything bozoed on it, you know, broken knobs and levers. We fix all that stuff. But my goal is to work on my own projects, and I don't want the machine itself to become the project. You know, I want them to be relatively quick projects so that you know, we can start using the equipment. And that it's nothing against the guys that like to really get into the details. I just love watching that stuff, and they do some just fantastic stuff. But I have enough projects of my own that I don't want the machine to become the project. I want it to work. I'll work on it until I'm satisfied that everything's working properly, and then I want to get going with the thing. And that's kind of where we're at with this. You know, you could go crazy here if you wanted to, but me personally, I don't need to do that. We'll leave that for the next guy that gets this thing when I keel over. I gotta wire a plug up, but you guys don't want to see that on video. I mean, that's that's electrical work. And then you'll start seeing me use this stuff in the videos, or using this machine in the videos. We'll find uses for it. This power feed's kind of nice. I like that. And we'll get it in position and get it set up, and we're going to start using it on projects. So anyway, that's what I want to do with it. And I hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of a little bit different series of videos here, and for some of the viewers out there that might be looking for projects to do, some guys you know, they're scratching around for a project to get interested in. I always say that you learn a lot doing repair work. You know, if you're really interested in getting into the nitty-gritty of machining and repair and fabrication and things like that, buy a crummy old machine and fix it up, because you will learn a lot. You'll learn, you know, welding and fabricating, you know, you'll learn machine work, mechanics, electrical. I mean, it's just on and on and on. So if you really like this stuff and you want to have a good project, buy an old machine and fix it up and get it running. It's a really good project. So anyway, hope you liked it. I'm Tom. I'll see you guys later.